Now, this 2012 is suggesting a big, huge Armageddon, but it's also suggesting that we're going to have this big wake up. And the process of this big wake up means you have to find out everything you believe to be true is actually completely false. You have to be up against everything that's wrong for you to jump into everything that's right. Right now we've been zombies. We we've been following somebody else's plan. And that plan kind of felt good because we got our big houses, we got our big cars. We got everything that we wanted to get, and we wanted government to make sure we could get that at prices we could afford. So we were constantly fighting government to get us cheaper stuff. So what government did is they made sure there was a third world country. They made sure that a country was being primed for slavery. They were deprived of food, they were deprived of every basic human need, so that when we dangled the carrot that said, build us our stuff and build it cheap, they were so desperate that they would do everything just to get that little morsel of food. And you can see that with India, they kept them very, very suppressed, and labor was extremely cheap. So all of our technical work then started being done in India. They were our new slaves. We treated them like slaves. My ex-husband worked on an oil field in the Middle East, and the rules of good health care did not apply to anybody that was living in India. They basically, just to put it in basic terms, if you got sick, you got thrown overboard. These people were not able to go and visit their families like Canadian workers or US workers. They had to stay there for months. They did not get the same pay grade. They were getting next to nothing to do the jobs that they were doing. And they couldn't fit. Some people from India had to work 3 years before they could get time off to go and visit their families. So now this is what's happening in the States. They're creating, the new third world country. You're losing all power. Exactly what was done in the third world countries is now being done to you. And while you start losing everything and your food is now damaged, then you're going to get to a stage where you'll do anything for that little morsel of food. And you're going to be angry, and you're going to get really pissed off, and you're going to find out everything you believe to be true is actually false. Everything you trusted in, you couldn't really trust in. So you're going to be, deer in headlights, and but in the meantime, you're going to be starving. So anybody can come and bring a little carrot and say, do this, and you will do it because you will be so desperate. And just as you did not care about these other third world countries, now you're going to see and experience that nobody's really caring about you. And that's the aspect of reality we need to wake up at. We all do care. We're just not aware. We're not like, oh my God, did I do that? Did I go in and take over some country and said it was war and that they were big bad people and we need to fight and kill them? While you wanted your stuff, that's what the game is go in and dominate another country so you can take all of their stuff so you can have it. And when you want to look at terrorism, why are people causing terrorism? Because, why are people against the US? Because you were enjoying your stuff, and you didn't know of the harm you were creating in other countries. And these other countries aren't really awake, just like nobody on the planet is that much awake. But they figured that the only way to stop you was to commit terrorist acts because that's the only way they could do it. They don't, how else are you going to wake up if what you do to others is not acceptable for them to do it back to you? So the biggest part of waking up is realize you do not have an enemy. You have a group of people on the planet that say what we are doing is completely wrong. When you want your stuff and you want it cheap, don't go and get it made in another country because you haven't realized that you've taken all your jobs out of your country, which is making you not have a job to go and work at, which means you're not making any income. So no matter how cheap it gets, you can't afford that stuff. I did a campaign more than 20 years ago and seen this coming. And if I could see that coming, I can see what's going to happen next. And millions will die if we don't wake up. This 2012 Armageddon is going to unfold because it needs to, because you choose it to. You want it because you want to hang on to everything you believe to be true. And you want to hang on to that so much that you need something bad to happen to you for you to wake up. You have to see the bad in order for you to see, oh, we need to be doing something completely different. So part of this big wake up is recognizing you have no enemy. The only enemy you have is yourself and the fact that you wanted your stuff and you wanted it cheap and you didn't want to do any work for it. So the change is this waking up to, oh my God, I didn't realize I was doing that. And then you have to fall into something completely different. And a lot of us don't have money to make any change, but there's a lot of people that do have money that can put it towards change. How we do these nonprofits is completely wrong. Nonprofit is exactly functioning like the medical world. There is this guy that, filthy, filthy rich guy. Apparently, his family always does good onto humanity. They always donate their money because they're filthy rich. And the guy smokes. And when I was talking to them that, hey, why are you smoking? And I'm one of them. So I'm learning, why is it we're doing these negative things to ourselves? And in this conversation, this guy said that, well, he's going to quit when he finds there's a cure for cancer. It's like, if I keep smoking, then we'll figure out the cure for cancer. So basically, how we think is we want to be able to take a pill that enables us to do something we know is wrong. Even though you know smoking is bad for you, you want the cure that smoking will do, and yet you don't want to prevent it. And that's the cure, is the prevention of it. And I know I smoke because it's like, fuck, who wants to live in this world? Everybody's completely nuts. Everybody's angry. Everybody wants something different, and nobody wants to jump into the change, and nobody gets it. And while I know I'm not going to die from this, because I definitely, tomorrow's the day I'm not going to smoke again, because I see that I have to jump into my solutions as well. And we have to sort of recognize what has been in history and look at the Bible. And there's a lot of aspects of the Bible I totally disagree with, but there's an awful lot of truth in that book. And back in history, they were living past 900 years. What did it take for humanity to live past 900 years? First of all, like me, it's like, I wouldn't want to live in this world, not with it so friggin' cruel. So the first thing we got to do is create a world where you love living in it. Then the second thing is you got to recognize what illnesses are. All illnesses have a cause, and all causes are nothing more than our behaviors, which are attached to our beliefs. Change your beliefs, change your behaviors, and you won't get sick. Peace out.